has returned following almost a week of rioting and looting. The recent events had many question our security cluster's abilities, with the police minister Bheki saying the country is not out of the woods as yet. There has to be a way to ensure there are no more security failures. Well, to discuss this, I'm joined now on all angles by former ministerial state security advisor Bob Mhlanga. Mr. Mhlanga, good afternoon. Welcome to All Angles on eNCA, DSTV channel 403. Just an overriding question first. I know it's been addressed by different commentators, including yourself and other people in the past week. Our security establishment, our security agency, state security agency, the service of intelligence to protect the country internally and against any external threats, does it need to be revamped following what we witnessed last week? Do we need a revamped service?
Oh, certainly so. Thanks for inviting me. Look, our architecture was founded in 1995, 1996. And that is long. The world has changed, and even our situation here in South Africa has changed. The architecture was in the main built to sustain and consolidate the democracy which had ushered in 2004. And to a certain degree, that function has been achieved, because here we are after 27 years, we still are enjoying that democracy. So it really needs revamped. Quite a number of occasions that had been attempted. That was through amendment to the Intelligence Services Act in 2002, and we saw now in 2017, 2018, the Mufumadi Commission, which came with recommendations that we need to relook into the architecture of intelligence. So certainly, yes, we do need that.
Is it possible to revamp it in a situation where the historical context of post-1994 suggests that some of the activities of the state security agents were politically motivated, either affiliated to one or the other faction of the governing party, the African National Congress?
Yes, you're quite correct. I think that comes in the recommendation of Mufumadi Commission, because it found that there's been aberrations, there's been abuse of power, and there's been a lack of focus to a certain degree on the core functions which the services must do. So that now that has need to be taken on board and to be considered. But it is unfortunately that now it is over 4 years that those recommendations were made, but nothing had been implemented. And I think that it goes in to show that there is a lack of willingness or political will, if one has to put it strongly, from the authorities to deal with issues of intelligence. It is quite clear through that report and through the other reports in the media and what we have been hearing at the Zondo commissions that intelligence is a problem. But if one has to comment on that, I think that the problem of intelligence, they started around 2006, 2007, in which we experienced a number of changes there. And as a result, what got broken at that stage, now attention was given to fix that. The problems are problems of capacity. And secondly is the program of leadership. So intelligence has never been afforded or accorded proper leadership in order to execute its task. Why I'm talking about proper leadership, I'm talking about South Africa has an intelligence capacity, and that was drawn over years. We have both officials who came from the erstwhile apartheid services and those from the liberation forces. And these officials, they are the ones who formed both NIA and SARS. But from 2005 to 2007, we found a lot of them, been shunned aside, and a number of them, of course, it was through natural attrition that they were taken out. So now that created a dichotomy for the system to continue to operate systematic in a normal sense, because we found thereafter the introduction of new officials who were grappling with understanding the tradecraft. And so that aside, but we also had the issue of the capacity, both technically in building the intelligence.
Yeah, so you had, sorry to come in there.
Cuts really
from 2005 to 2007, you had a kind of, from natural attrition, as you say, but also due to other decisions, an exodus, an exit, let's say, of skills that had been there over decades, both from the liberation movement side and from the erstwhile apartheid regime. And that has not been replaced, one would assume. So fixing the architecture is one thing, but you have to address the issue of skills and capacity to upgrade them to meet today's world's demands.
You're quite correct. You've got to do that too, but at the same time, you've got to, your appointments have got to be really strategic, and appointment you've got to go for qualified and experienced people. But unfortunately, we have not seen this. We have seen the latest appointments in the intelligence services are people who had no experience whatsoever in intelligence, who are not trained whatsoever intelligence. Take the case of the Director of Domestic Services. That fellow has no training whatsoever in intelligence. And how do you expect him to inspire his subordinates to go and collect intelligence?
So as things stand,
the biggest problem is.
Yeah, so the leadership of the structure itself is questionable from what you've just said. That needs to be revamped as part of this journey. But who's finally accountable? Is it the President of the Republic? Is it the minister? Where must that change of leadership and the execution of the recommendations of the Mufamadi report into State Security Agency? Where must it be implemented from? Who's in charge of execution?
At that highest level, it is the presidency. It is the president who appoints directors. It is the president who appoints the DGs. But unfortunately, since the outcome of the report, we have never seen any permanent or fixed appointment. We only have seen an appointment of Robert McBride, who is today even suspended. And all the time, as I'm stating, from 2007, we had only acting capacities. You did not have people who were there full-time to execute the mandate of the intelligence services. And that lies clearly and squarely in the doors of the presidency.
Yeah, I wonder why that lack of political will to implement the Mufamadi recommendations. Thank you very much, Mr. Mhlanga there, just giving us a sense. That's Bob Mhlanga. He's a former ministerial state security advisor, so he knows what he's talking about. It's going to be very interesting. I think maybe one day we need to delve a little bit deeper into the recommendations of the Sydney Mufamadi report, into the shortcomings and what needs to be done to improve our state security agency capacity. Stay with